So we recently moved into this new apartment, and for the very first time ever, I have my own studio room. Yay! If you didn't know where my setup was before, it was kind of in the living room area of our old apartment. It was next to the kitchen and like kind of in the dining area, so it was not enclosed at all. It was a nice space, but it wasn't fully my own. So this is really exciting to have an entire room to myself. So here is the room right now, and by the end of it we're going to make this room look really cute and aesthetic, but I want to show you the before to kind of show what we're working with. So this room is pretty much a square. It's got some built-in shelves right here, and then we have a lot of closets on this side. So this closet and this closet hold my clothes. This side right here is going to hold some of my prints and like other art stuff, and then we have a fun little window over here. And then we have a skylight. I really love this skylight. Isn't it cute? It brings a lot of light into the room, considering the other windows are a little bit smaller. I filmed the first part of this video back in February when it was still cold out, which is why I'm wearing a turtleneck and fuzzy socks. But we had just moved in around this time, and I was just arranging all of the stuff that we had that were still in boxes and bags and stuff like that. My main goal at this point was to just arrange all of my stuff so it was accessible, so I could get to it if I needed to. I tried to put up a lot of the decorations that I had from before and quickly realized that because the room was so much bigger, the room was going to feel quite empty with just the decorations I had. Luckily, I had a lot of art prints from before that I couldn't fit onto my wall, so I actually just had to buy some frames for them and figure out a place to put them on my wall. Some of the art that I had was a little too small to put on the wall as is, so I decided to make a collage using a wider grid that I had laying around. I just mocked up where I wanted the art to go, and then I secured them with little wooden pins. For me, one of the most important things about setting up my studio is to make it as warm and inviting as possible. That way, whenever I'm working in here, I can feel cozy and happy because I am going to be spending many hours in here. I'm a messy person at my core, so it's very important for me to make sure all of my items had proper places to be put. That way I could at least avoid some clutter, as there would always be a place for those items to be put away. Markers, pens, and pencils would go in my organizer, sketchbooks and paper on my shelf, and all of the cables and electronics in a drawer. Essentially, my main goal was to Sasha-proof the whole room as much as possible before I inevitably mess up everything, panicking about last-minute stuff for a convention. I also took into account what would be seen on camera so I could have a nice looking background for my Twitch stream. For some reason I thought this scene was gonna look so cinematic, but it just looks sad. Anyway, after about 4 months of working on the studio, here's how it came out. So let's do a quick little tour of the room then. So over here I have my built-in shelf, and this shelf is just full of like visually pleasing things. I try not to move a lot of stuff in here, but I do have my art books and manga over here, which I do take out occasionally. Then beneath it I just have some more storage, and then my cardboard mailers are here so I can easily get to them when I set up my orders from my online store. So then moving on over here, I have my desk area. So here is where I'll be drawing if I'm drawing traditionally, or maybe I'm doing something in my notebook, scrapbooking, whatever. This is gonna be the area where I do it. The table itself is just a regular plastic table. I kind of like that because it makes it a little less worrying for me to work with like messy things like paints and stuff like that, because I don't mind getting it dirty. I always eat here too, so I have like my food and like cups of tea and stuff here. You can see it's a little bit stained, but it doesn't bother me too much with that kind of stuff, so I don't mind it. But here's where I have a nice little art wall. I have a banner for my pins, and then if you look closely, I just have some of my pens and markers and stuff like that. Look, it even says my username. This was a gift to me. It's so sweet. So moving on to my desk setup over here, I recently got a third monitor or a second monitor. Does this count as a monitor? My Cintiq? I don't know, but it looks like I have 3, right? And then I have my ring light over here, and then I just have some stuff for streaming and some stuff for doing art. So I'm just gonna go over them really quickly. So over here I have my Stream Deck. So this is just a bunch of buttons that I press to go to things quickly. Right in here I have my Tor box. This is the most convenient place for it to be when I work. I kind of put my hand right underneath the Cintiq and work from it, but it's really useful. Of course, my keyboard is over here. And then I have my microphone, which I can move out of the way. It's actually on an arm, but I do keep it here most of the time. Right underneath that box is my webcam. I always have it covered with a chamomile box, of course. I do have a couple ring lights. They don't fit as well as they used to before since I got my third monitor, so I might have to rearrange them still, but they're still there. Then just my mouse and my Cintiq. And then moving on to the more boring stuff, I guess. I just have a lot of closets here. This left one over here is just for my prints and then like random boxes and stuff like that. And these are for clothes that I don't wear as often, jackets, winter clothes, stuff like that. It's mostly just storage space, but it's nice to have because it's pretty accessible. I do have more storage space right up here, but it's very inaccessible. I would need a ladder to get to it, and it's a very inconvenient. So I'm using these and it's fine. And then over here I just have my big shelf. I used to have my prints on here, but now they're in the closet, so I have more room for plants. I'm actually a little bit careful about where I place my plants here because of the skylight. You would think like it's great for plants, they would love it, right? Oh, these are fake plants. But actually the sunlight is so strong that it can likely burn the leaves, so actually I have to kind of keep them out of the way a little bit, but just in the light enough for them to grow. I don't have many that are real right now, just a few, but I'm working on it. I think I will definitely rearrange this the most as time goes on. I feel like I still have stuff that I need to do here, but for now it works. And then lastly, I just want to show you guys the little details of the room. So here I have this shelf. I do want to fill it up with more stuff, but I need to find like fake plants so they don't burn. These are obviously fake, so I will get more. And then over here I have some hanging plants. They're also fake because I cannot reach up there to water them. So I have that kind of stuff. I do have some art over here. I did not hang them perfectly straight, but I'm working with what I got. There's a lot of holes in the walls here, and I'm kind of trying to stick with the holes in the walls. I don't want to make more holes in them, you know? So I'm trying to work with what I got. That's kind of why all of these are all over the place too, but I like it. It's kind of fun, right? But yeah, this plant is struggling. I bought it and it had mites, and I pruned it, and it's really trying hard. Look, it's getting there. We'll see how she goes. I have faith still. Here's my little Polaroid camera. Isn't the case the cutest? Oh my gosh. Sorry, wait. Look. I will show you. Look how cute. Oh, I bought it because it has a self-timer and it's so incredibly useful. So when I have friends come over, we just take like a few Polaroids, self-timed, and I just give them to everyone. It's so cute. But yeah, here's my room. I'm really happy with it. It feels so cozy. I turn these little lights on when I work in the evening time when I don't want it to be too bright. When I stream, I turn on this big light over here so that I have more light in the room and it looks better. It really works for me really well. I'm pretty happy with it. It feels very cozy and very me. And that's it. Thanks for watching my studio tour. I hope you enjoyed watching the process of it and maybe got some inspiration for your own workstation. If you have any questions about my setup or anything really, feel free to comment or stop by my Twitch stream when I'm live to ask in real time. Okay, gotta go now. See you next time. Bye!